Hey, this is Coach Brian with the YMCA. Thank you for your time. We're going to talk a little about something that we've traditionally not been able to do at the YMCA, which is applying half-court pressure and, again, trapping, similar to what we talked about in the 2-3 and the 3-2. This is the 2-2-1, half-court pressure, half-court trap. It's called a 2-2-1 because we're going to have two guards inside at the half-court line, two guards or forwards outside, and our center underneath the basket. There is really just one simple goal with this exercise, and that is, as they're bringing the ball up, these two people putting inside pressure and forcing the ball to either go this way or to go that way. We are driving them to these trapping zones where we have the benefit of the half-court line and the benefit of the sideline, that if we add two defenders, we have a great opportunity to force a turnover. So again, the primary goal of this defense is to force the ball handler one way or the other. That's it. That is the whole secret to what we're trying to accomplish. That being said, there are a couple of factors in getting that to happen. The guards are probably going to be fairly close inside here. They're probably going to have their inside foot up, their outside foot over here, which is just going to make a natural channel for them to be closed in the middle but open to the side. The guards up here, once they get someone to turn, have to be cognizant of not getting too high. We don't want them to reverse back and go to the center of the floor. That would not be good. So once I get him to commit and come over here, I am going to be right on his inside hip, just a half a step behind him. It's giving him the illusion that there's freedom this way, and he's going to continue to go in down the side instead of trying to reverse back. So again, we're going to have a closed stance here, forcing him to go, not allowing him to go down the center ever. And we're going to ride his inside hip so that we're about a quarter, half step behind him, giving him the illusion that forward is the right way to go. So with that, what's very important is that once this occurs, and once we turn him, it is absolutely important that the wing guards or wing forwards make an immediate move. Again, you're not waiting to see how he's guarding him. You're not waiting to see if he goes toward the corner. As soon as he makes a decision and he's on your side to head to the side, you both are heading this direction, driving him to the corner. A couple of important things once we get him there. We talked about this a little bit earlier in a different video. We're never going to reach in for the ball. We will get a foul called on us right away. We're going to have our hands at ball height, moving at the same speed and same direction that the offensive guy is moving the ball. If he turns his back to us, we're going to get our bodies as close as we can without touching him. If he puts the ball down low, we're again going to close the gap between our bodies and force him to make a mistake. What we're looking for is when he tries to pass the ball with our hands high, 4 hands up against his 2, we're looking for him to turn the ball over in that situation. So very important that we don't take a great situation and cause a foul, that we have discipline in how we're trying to handle that ball carrier with a ball in a bad situation. So again, we talked about the keys of the stance, that we're going to have a closed stance in the middle, not allowing him to go down the middle. We're going to force him to pick a side, and we're going to ride him slightly back. The moment that this guy sees that he's going that way, he is coming as well to trap him in the corner. We might even have our feet interlocked right here. We may have our foot out of bounds so he can't jump over it. We may have our foot across half court so he can't jump over it. We're doing everything we can to tighten this box smaller and smaller on him. So those are the general goals. We don't let him go down the middle. We force him to a side. We stay on his inside hip. The wing immediately reacts. That's the biggest thing I saw from our competitive season, is that we didn't react quick enough. Err on the side of aggression. If he's going that direction, close it immediately. If he passes the ball and loops it out, it's on me. So those were really the keys. So let's talk about what happens in the rotations. What happens if the guy doesn't, come your way? So we're going to assume the ball comes here and starts going this way. We already said that this guy goes here, this guy goes here. We form a little box, and we are trying to cause a turnover. So we've got a guy here, and a guy here. This guy here, as the offensive guy is going that way, is just going to kind of follow him a little bit, and once he gets past half court, he's going to come and settle right at the three-point line. The backside wing is going to come straight over just below the free throw line. And the big guy is going to come about 2/3 up the lane, somewhere between the lane and the three-point shot. We're essentially forming a nice wall right here with our three backside guys. So that's what we're trying to accomplish. So let's talk about it one by one. What are the possibilities? Let's say we have Heath here. We drive the guy here. Heath or Max, the centers, are always going to come towards the ball side. And so he's going to be, again, about halfway between the three-point line and the lane and about 2/3 of the way up. So if we drove him this way, no different. Heath is going to come right to about here. So again, for Heath or Max or whoever's playing the center position, you're either underneath the basket or in one of these two positions based on where the ball's at. So it really shouldn't be that complex. There's two places that you got to be. As far as the guards or the wings back here or the forwards, there's really only two places you're going to go. You're going to attack the ball, or you're going to go and sit just underneath the lane with your head on a swivel looking for what's happening. So that's it. If you are a wing, you're either going to attack or you're going just underneath the free throw line. That's it. If you are one of the guards up here, obviously if the ball goes that way, this guard goes this way, the backside guard is just going to kind of follow slowly with him a little bit with the offense, making sure he doesn't reverse back. But if he sees he's going this way, he's just going to come and settle right on top of the three-point line. So if the ball handler is over here, we've got two guys there, we should always have the backside top guy right here at the top of the three-point line. The backside, forward or guard is going to be right here underneath the free throw line, and the center is always going to be here. So we've got a perfect line, blocking all the time. So the pieces really aren't that difficult. There's really only, you're either going here or you're going here. You're either going here or you're going here. So there's not that much to the actual technique, to the positioning. There's certainly a lot to the technique. Let's talk about a couple of situations. Let's assume that we've got one guy here, two guy here. We've got the top guy right here. We've got the wing right here. We've got the big man right here. And let's assume this guy's able to sneak a pass over here. What do? As he's going, we've immediately got to try to engage him. Again, I don't want to be ahead of him. I want to be on his inside hip, giving him the escape route this way. As that's happening, I need to come back this way and immediately attack. Our center absolutely has to get back and get back home in protection. So really, nothing else changes for these guys up here, right? This was the guard. We said that he's always here or here. So he's going to kind of come along this way, following the guy, and seeing that our other guard has him, he's coming to set up shop right here. The forward that was over here is now just going to replace the forward that was over here. The center went from here to here, and now he's just coming out here. We go back to having our wall. We go back to trying to trap the guy. So understand that this doesn't happen just once, that the ball is going to come out, it's not going to work perfectly every time, and that we have to just simply react and use the same principles that guided our first go round. Only other thing to consider is what happens if the bad guy's right here. We've got number 1 right here. We've got number 2 right here. We've got our center right here. We've got our wing right here. We've got our other top guard right here. So what happens if he's able to get the ball over to here? What will we do? This guy's near side ball, so he's got to come down here and protect that baseline. He cannot let him go baseline. This guy's going to come and set up right here. This guy's going to come right back here. This guy's going to come right back here. And this guy's going to come right back here. We essentially go right back to having a 2-3 is what it looks like. So again, the guard's just coming back down. The forward is just playing like he normally would as a defensive post player, and the center is coming down protecting baseline. We can reshuffle the position once some things happen, but those are the basics for it. So that's the 2-2-1. We want to get very good at this. This can cause a lot of problems for teams. I hope that everybody spends a lot of time understanding their responsibilities. Again, the guards, you have to know all 4 spots, and if we learn to implement this well, it'll be a lot of fun. Thanks.